Welcome everybody, today we are going to be traveling back in time. The year is 2017. Fortnite Battle Royale has come out and it is starting to take the world by storm. It is season 1 and OG skins are in the Fortnite store. What if I told you we could literally go back to that time right now? That is right, today we are going to be revisiting Fortnite season 1 as somebody has managed to host servers to allow access to the original version of Fortnite Battle Royale, and what you're about to see will blow your mind. If you guys want to see Fortnite bring back the original season 1 map for all of us to play, hit that thumbs up button. I seriously think Fortnite should bring it back, even for just an LTM, to allow us to play it and reminisce about the old school days. And let me know down below, if it was one thing you could bring back from season 1 to the current season, what would it be? I think I'd say double pump or launch pads. What about you guys? There's always a big thank you to everyone using code ALIA in the Fortnite item store. You guys are absolutely amazing, and make sure you're subscribing for the latest Fortnite news and information, as we're coming towards the end of the current Fortnite season, so you want to stay tuned for all the latest info. Oh boy, look at this. Anyone remember the season 1 Halloween background? This was the very first custom background, and Larwin and a team of people that managed to put all these servers together and allow access to it. A big shout out to everybody that has made this possible. And if you never experienced super OG season 1 Fortnite, you're about to see everything. Here at the bottom, solos, duos, squads, that was literally it, with a little toggle for fill and no fill. If we click that button, I don't actually think it will load in an actual game, but we will be getting access to the season 1 map. Stick around for that. Now, level 1000 was definitely not a thing back then, but let's go through all the other options. We've got the locker, where you only had a banner, outfit, glider, and harvesting tool. So I think these were the only things that were out at that point in the store. There's nothing else from beyond this point in time. The Mako glider probably being the Mako glider, probably one of the rarest ones that I have on my account. In terms of harvesting tools, I guess the rarest one here would be the Renegade Raider pickaxe, and obviously the Reaper pickaxe. That's already come back to the store. Ooh, the outfit. So you've got the OG like default skins and the green skins, and beyond this point there was nothing rarer than purple. Obviously the Ghoul and Skull Trooper, both now having returned to the store with alternate versions as well. The Renegade Raider, which I have, and look, by the way, how they displayed them back in the day. So different. You couldn't even spin them around unless it's just a glitch with this current version. And even the Recon Expert herself. Out of all of the ones here, I don't have Helmet Boy, Rip, or Recon Expert. I regret not buying them. Now, if you want to buy them, you can't. The store obviously isn't functional. This is tied into whatever's going on at the time. The seasonal store was unlocked at different levels, and that granted you access, the ability to unlock like the Renegade Raider and all of those super OG items. And stats and leaderboard haven't really changed too much. Now, one thing that I always think, and I'm sure a lot of you guys always think, would be how cool would it be to take my Fortnite abilities now, go back in time, go into a lobby and just wipe everybody. It would be so much fun. However, for somebody like myself that plays on controller, that just physically wouldn't be possible. If you go into the menus tab and take a look at how different the menus used to be back then. Oh my gosh, it's so different. This is all of the video settings. These are the game settings. Now, I could control my sensitivity with X and Y on the controller, but very little other options aside from that. This is where the issues come in. So on controller, you could have standard, where you'd literally have to switch between each of your building piece. Pretty sure L2 used to be crouch as well. The standard is just so whack. Quick builder, and then combat pro. A lot of people move to combat pro, but there's no builder pro. There's no custom button binds. Everything that I'm used to using on my controller wouldn't even work back then. So honestly, I'd probably be worse than most of the people that were used to using the old school controller settings. What about the very first Fortnite map? If you're excited for this, give it a thumbs up as we explore the very first version of the Fortnite map, before Tilted Towers, before snow, before Chapter 2. This, ladies and gentlemen, is super OG. Oh my gosh, who recognizes this place? Jeez, it feels like so long, probably because it is, that we've been to the original pre-game lobby island. In fact, I have vivid memories of playing hide and seek here with Vic and other YouTubers just for fun. But this is what the original spawn island looked like. Fairly empty, fairly bland, but millions upon millions of games all started right here. All the battle buses ready to go. We're gonna jump into this one and enter the map. Guys, where should we visit first? What nostalgia should we get? Let's start on the edge of the island with the old flush Factory. This place was so underused because it was literally right on the edge of the map. But I had one of my greatest starts ever here with the Burst AR, if any of you guys remember, where I just absolutely annihilated people. And this place literally just made and dispensed toilets. Now, this place ended up getting covered in snow and lost underground within season 7, I believe. Let me know if you guys ever dropped at Flush Factory. Was it one of your hot drops? Now, if we head over to Loot Lake, you may notice that something is missing. In fact, I haven't seen nor experienced this in years. This right here, that mound, that hill, is basically what Tilted Towers was, and then obviously it got changed over time, and it was right next to the original Loot Lake. So I decided to plonk Tilted Towers right here. Now, fun fact, one of my very first Fortnite videos was a best place to drop video, and I recommended these set of caravans right here. It was never really contested too much, and if you landed there and picked up the chest, you could then move over to this little broken area and get another chest as well. So this is actually one of my favorite places to drop. If you guys remember that? Now, boy, Loot Lake went through a lot. It got absorbed by the cube and turned to a big bouncy mat, but I will forever love the central island here. Obviously, Kevin the Cube picked it up and took it with him, but the action you would find here, I did the one house challenge here where I could only loot from this one house and then move on to the rest of the map. I love it. So much action, so much fun. I will always love this drop spot. Oh, OG Dusty Divot. Look at that. With all of the colors of the buildings in the right order. For those of you guys who don't know, when this reappeared in Season X, it wasn't actually in the original order, but that was so nostalgic. Salty Factories over here as well. Fun fact, in the original version of the map, Salty Springs wasn't even a named spot. Ooh, prison. You know what? They brought this back in Season X, and I barely landed here for the simple fact that because you could always change into props here, it was just a mess of trying to find people, trying to work out where people were. I didn't like it very much, but OG places, it was pretty awesome. Moisty Maya. This place was almost never landed at because getting through this sludge was almost impossible, and it was very, very slow and stodgy. It actually got a little bit of work done to it with a filming area added, but this tree, the goat tree with a 3 chest spawn, was a really, really good spot to land at. I should have done a 1 tree challenge where I just picked up stuff from this tree. But yeah, this place never really used too much. Got expanded on a lot, ultimately wiped out with all of the desert that then ended up filling up this massive area of land, and Paradise Palms came here instead. Oh, yo, some proper OG spots back here. Little circle of bushes. We had this one little tiny broken building over here, and then also these mounds of trucks here with several chests on them. Who remembers this? This is super, super OG. Some of these places were barely touched, to be honest with you, and lasted from Season 1 all the way to Season 10. This little house up here barely changed. Ooh, Greasy Grove, man. Who didn't love Greasy Grove? An absolute huge spot to land at. Massive burger shop over here. Again, it came back in Season X. Amazing spot. Honestly, everything on this side of the island, no one really landed here. I remember coming up in some of the final rings to this little house up here, but apart from that, why would you ever want to travel up here? It's just a huge mountain leading up to not very much loot at all. Were a few buildings on the edge here that was worth going to, but look, all the way along here, which ended up obviously being filled with all of the houses on the edge of the map and the Viking places, originally, there was pretty much nothing. It was a dead zone. And that is why the map changed so much and was renovated so much, because so much of the map was so empty back in the day. Now, do you guys know where I'm looking at right now? For those of you guys that don't, just over here is obviously the haunted area with all of the gravestones. And right up on the hill here, we ended up getting the big broken down castle as well. And again, right at the edge of the map, almost no reason to visit here. This side of the map was so desolate compared to its counterpart over here. Obviously, Pleasant Park, again, one of the main places to go, fairly unchanged. I mean, hey, it's even in Chapter 2. That's how much people love good old Pleasant Park. There were 2 sets of fields in the original map, Anarchy Acres and Fatal Fields. And because they were both fairly similar, one of them had to go. One of the rocket ship parts actually ended up landing in the farmland over here in the Season 4 live event, but ultimately changed to the massive golf course that we know and saw huge changes. And the original Risky Reels was over here as well. honestly quite a nice cluster of little houses and places to loot over here. But Risky Reels was amazing once it was added in. Wailing Woods, ladies and gentlemen. Back in the day, this place didn't have any secret underground places. It just said, go away, and this was pretty much it. There was like no loot here at all, apart from a chest in the middle and potentially a few dotted around the trees in the edge. Obviously, the massive volcano ended up erupting from here, completely squishing it. This place fairly unchanged. Oh, yo, actually, me and Claire and Rich back in the day would always land here. This place didn't get touched at all. Crazy how that just didn't change over all the time. But over here, this was an absolute crazy place to land, but filled with loot. Retail Row. OG Retail Row. I think one of the very first places I landed that as well within my video. If any of you guys remember, I just literally came in this building, in this corner here, just looking out the window, sniping at people. Ladies and gentlemen, the OG Fortnite map. It's quite cool just going and seeing how different it was and seeing all the places that ultimately ended up getting changed. But this is how it all started. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want Fortnite to bring back this map for the massive, give it a big fat thumbs up, and I hope you've enjoyed this nostalgic trip. Check out more videos on screen. Make sure you keep on using code ALIE. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.